life and the value of it, and believe that people need to be treated with respect. Mr. President, on an unrelated issue, over the weekend we witnessed another brutal Russian onslaught against Ukraine, a scene brazenly repeated after overtures made to Russian President Putin to end the war. I do not begrudge President Trump for trying to engage with Putin. I've met with my fair share of autocrats in my political career. But Putin is not serious about negotiating into the war in Ukraine. He is not driven by real estate or personal financial motivations, but by deep personal grievances and twisted readings of history and nostalgia for the Soviet Empire. So much so that Putin has been willing to slaughter thousands of innocent Ukrainians, kidnap children, send more than 1 million Russians to become war casualties in pursuit of this myopia. And we should also be under no illusion that this is just a Russian assault on Ukraine. It is an assault against the United States values, and it's an assault against NATO and its allies. Last week again, Russia entered NATO airspace, this time in Lithuania. The move followed years of increasingly provocative Russian incursions, and Russian planes have entered the Alaskan Air Defense Identification Zone at least 9 times this year. I welcome President Trump's recent decision to tighten sanctions on Russia. He can and should take further steps to increase military and economic pressure on Putin. And we in Congress should finally pass sanctions legislation, which has 80 co-sponsors of both political parties, and we should do it soon. Mr. President, on an unrelated topic, today my constituents in Illinois will begin to receive letters from health insurance companies outlining the prices for next year's health insurance premiums. For many Illinois families, these letters will inform them that their premium costs will double. Do you want to know why we're in a government shutdown? It's because of that letter that's being sent around by insurance companies to residents of Illinois and many other states this week. They're going to learn, unfortunately, that the cost of their health insurance in many instances is going to double, $1,000 or more, each one of these recipients. All because congressional Republicans have chosen to allow the Affordable Care Act's enhanced tax credits to expire. These credits have helped millions of people in every state, but the Republicans want to get rid of them. They want American families to have to pay more for health insurance. Last week, I sent a letter to the health insurance companies in Illinois asking them what it will mean to lose these tax benefits. Major health insurers like Blue Cross Blue Shield and United told me that expiration of these tax credits will be a disaster. In Illinois, these tax credits lower premiums by an average of more than $500 a month, $6,000 a year. Families that are trying to struggle to pay electric utility bills, struggle to pay grocery expenses, now face up to $6,000 a year more for the same health insurance they enjoyed this year. When Illinoisans go online on getcovered.illinois.gov today to check their health insurance premiums for next year, they're going to see 2 devastating things. First, nearly 400,000 Illinoisans will have to grapple with the reality that they may no longer receive the premium assistance they had received this year. These losses could reach hundreds to thousands of dollars a month, depending on the family size. Second, they'll see that across our state, health insurance premiums are going up approximately 30% next year, fueled by these expiring tax credits from the big, beautiful Trump budget bill. It's a double hit: loss of the enhanced tax credits and underlying costs skyrocketing, all because the Republicans in Congress refuse to sit down with us now, and fix this problem. Listen to what Melanie from Elmhurst shared with me. She said, quote, "I receive a $379 monthly tax credit. Without the tax credit, my insurance is unaffordable, plain and simple." She's not alone. She's one of 100,000 people in my state and more than 4 million nationwide who stand to lose their health coverage because of this Republican decision. Democrats tried to address the expiration of these credits earlier this year, but the Republicans have refused to cooperate. Now is the time to get it done. For families who are Republican, Democrat, Independent, whether they vote or not, they should have access to health insurance. If you're looking for leadership from the White House, We have to hope that the president will return from his trip and take up this cause, and hope that the House of Representatives will actually come to the Capitol for the first time in 4 or 5 weeks. Their presence is long overdue. I yield the floor.
Madam President, are we in a quorum call?
We are not.
Madam President, we are in day 27 of a government shutdown. 27 days where the government is shut down. And yet we're here, you're presiding, we have pages on the floor, there are people in the gallery. There are people coming and going. We've got Capitol Hill Police that are in the area, and it just kind of feels like business as usual. We're going to have committee hearings this week. We're going to be voting on judges and some CRAs, and it just kind of feels like business as usual. And yet it is so not business as usual. We're pretending that everything is okay. We're pretending that people are not being impacted by this shutdown. I'm looking at the people that are here recording this, that will be working to process this vote. None of them are getting paid. The Capitol Hill Police that I visit with on a daily basis, outside and inside, are not getting paid, and they share with me that, well, I still had to drive in. I've got a 40-minute drive to get here, so I've got to fill up my car. I have kids at home that are young kids, and so they go to child care. This is the Capitol Hill police officer saying, and he says, and so I still have to pay the child care provider, even though I have to come in and I'm not getting work, so my expenses are not going away. And yet every single one of them says, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I've signed up for this. This is my mission, and I will be here. And they're proud to be here. But what is wrong is that their families are stressed. I was talking with one Capitol Hill police officer on Thursday of last week, and he says, every day I go home and my wife says, so did they open it up? Are we going to be paid? And he said, and I tell her, nope, no progress today. And so we're starting to feel that, because people who would otherwise just be saying, I signed up for this, I'm not going to complain, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. But we're starting to feel this in real time. And it's having an impact not only financially, but I fear from a mental health perspective. We had a call come in actually today. And this is a person who was calling from